Ian has definitely gotten here at this point. It's very, very windy outside. Somewhat rainy. A little bit of lightning in the storm. It came ashore around noon today near Cape Coral as class 4 and has completely annihilated a lot of that area and a lot of that community. My prayers go out to everybody that lived in that area, especially those that chose not to leave. There have been videos coming in all day of massive flooding. The storm surge, they were saying, could be up to 15 to 18 feet, and then they started saying that there really wasn't going to be a storm surge because of the direction it was coming ashore. However, there ended up being a significant storm surge. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I've seen several videos today of debris, boats, all kinds of things just going down the road. From what I understand, storm surge came in within a 20-minute period. That it really wasn't flooded, and then it was very, very fast. Not exactly the way you want to, generally speaking, when you have floods, it's nothing like that. It's basically a flash flood of seawater going right down your street. Seen alligators in it, shark. That was an interesting video that came through. Hi, Q. Nice having you. Hi, Miss Patty. We're trying to stay as safe as we can. Storm is moving over us right now. It's going to be a long night. But now, right now on my TV, they're showing Fort Myers pretty much flooded. That looks significant enough not to really be wanting to walk around in. Of course, the news guy is walking around in it. At least this guy's wearing a helmet. Had a guy on a little while ago that decided to walk right out into a class 4 hurricane winds, and he almost didn't make it back. Apparently, a lot of Lee County is inundated with water. But yeah, I still have power at this point. I don't know how long I'm going to have power. Hopefully, I don't lose power. That'd be nice. Swampy, everything so far is doing okay. I don't really have any damage here, really, to speak of yet. It didn't start getting really severe until about an hour ago. About 5:30 this morning, we had a major feeder band come through, and it got pretty bad for about an hour. And then as far as the rest of the day went, it's been just lightly windy most of the day, lightly rainy with occasional bursts of heavy rain with winds 25, 35 miles an hour. Nothing really to be worried about. I think we're doing winds right now probably around 45 miles an hour. Gusts higher. I tried to videotape it, but my camera doesn't pick up anything in the dark out there. I can see it, but it can't. Kind of a shame, because there for a little while, I was watching all the trees across the street bend over. I wanted to kind of catch that on camera. That'd make a good video. And it's backlit really well from the city glow, but camera doesn't see anything. going to be fun. It's going to be this way for most of the night. Thought this would probably be the easiest way to hop online and go live for a few minutes while I talk about this. There is lightning in this hurricane. Most hurricanes don't have very much, but there's definitely more lightning than normal. It's very slow moving, which last night it was really fast. It crossed from Cuba to Florida in like 12 hours. And they typically do this right before they come on shore, they slow down. We've got tornado warnings all over the place right now. Kissimmee and Orlando is getting hammered. Let's see, we have sustained winds here of 35 miles an hour. Orlando's only 25 miles an hour, but they're getting really heavy rain. It's just more windier than anything. Thanks, AAP. I appreciate it. So right now, they're predicting the eye to basically go over Orlando, probably just to the east of Orlando, which means it'll probably go over the Orlando International Airport. The highest recorded wind gust in my area so far is 52 miles an hour. That isn't that bad. That is enough to cause damage, especially on trees. The main part of it still hasn't hit Osceola County, which is west of me, but it will be soon. It's Osceola and then Polk. It is still in or just south of Polk County, across Polk now. The center of circulation, which is usually the worst. Thanks, Q. I appreciate it. Let's see. It looks like they're going to put it out, coming out in North Brevard County, just north of Cape Canaveral, which is Mims, around 8 o'clock in the morning. So basically, it's going to be a rough night. I'll have to do all my surveys in the morning. It's dark out there and not necessarily a smart idea to step outside in this. Although I did go for my normal evening walk, which was kind of nice. The canal out back, which has been mostly dry this entire season, is about 1/3 of the way full. It's actually up to the bottom of the tributary pipes coming in. So I imagine that's going to be more full by morning. The water was moving pretty fast out of there. It had a decent current. So it's definitely doing its job. All right, so the center of the storm is basically crossing Lake Wales right now. So next up on that trajectory would be Kissimmee. Looks like it's going to go right over Kissimmee and then Orlando. Hi, Huga Homestead. It's going to be a long night. I stayed up most of the night last night watching, see how it was progressing, and then I finally went to bed around 5 in the morning. Got a few hours of sleep. Got up in time to see that it was making landfall. Made landfall a bit further south than I expected. It's been steadily, as it was approaching, shifting a little further and a little further and a little further south. And if it shifted any more further south, or if it shifts any more further south, the eye might just go right over me. Fortunately, it being on the opposite side of the state, I'm not going to get hammered near as bad. It's kind of a catch-22 for me, and as being somebody that has worked in construction and installed a lot of aluminum, still install aluminum, and aluminum's designed to rip off at around 95 miles an hour. You kind of want to see it hit that 100 mile an hour mark for about an hour. And I go make a lot of money. I don't think that's going to happen. I didn't prepare for that to happen, so I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen. After it came ashore, almost immediately the eye started to fall apart and tried to reform a second eye to the north over Tampa Bay, but for some reason it failed. But there for a little bit, it looked like it was going to reform a second eye after the first one collapsed significantly north of where it collapsed. And I've seen that happen a couple times. I've seen it bounce off a couple of times. It's always interesting when the hurricane bounces off. It's usually bad when that happens if it bounces off the west coast of Florida, because then it goes and hits Louisiana, which is low lying as Florida is. South Louisiana is more low. Oh, look at the hook in that cloud, man. That's not good. I've got the radar up, and there's this wicked J hook going, which is an indicator that there is a rather strong tornado south of Orlando, Orange County, Osceola County border. I would say that was most likely the oh, there went something. I'd say that was most likely the Swamp Ghost area, west of Narcoossee. Hey, you want to go see what just went?
Yeah.
Something just went outside. I wouldn't want to be in an RV in this. Was it my chair? You need a light? Here. It's the best one I got right now. So, hi, Miss Patty. Just kind of sitting out in the storm. I figured I'd do a live and talk about what's going on here. I am in the storm now. It's always fun. Not really sure what I just heard leave, but something left. The way the winds are coming, they're coming out of the southeast. So if I come out my kitchen door, I can look out and be protected by the house from the winds, for the most part.
The cardboard trellises and the
The porta potty next door went.
Yep.
Oh man. Well, we now have raw sewage out on the road. There is a construction site next door. And they have porta potty. Apparently, that porta potty is what is making all the noise outside. It is now laying on its side. And the last trellis on my carport went. And I guess it's time to build new trellises. Um, I have a lot of family in the Orlando area, and they will be getting the worst of it here real soon. Uh, East Orange County is definitely under a tornado warning. Looks like the area south of Lake Wales, Frostproof, is also underneath a tornado warning. I don't see a major hook in the radar like I did for the other one. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a wicked hook heading into Orange County. Right now, Okeechobee is pretty much okay. They're getting light winds, 15 to 20 miles an hour, and light rains. They've been pretty good. They didn't really get a lot, except for very early this morning. They had some pretty good feeder bands come through, but as it is right now, the Okeechobee area is basically in the clear. Not that they can't get something that'll stir up, but for the most part, it's okay. Oh man, that's scary with the porta potty in a third floor apartment in a tornado. No, I don't think I'd like doing that. What?
Were you going to shut the plans?
That cuts off access out of the house. I can shut it, I guess. Yeah. The way the winds are, I really wasn't thinking about putting that down.
Okay.
I mean, the winds are high enough, but it's coming from the wrong direction.
Okay.
Well, that porta potty now makes a humming sound when the wind comes through. That's fun.
When it passes over.
It's going to be a long night. There's more lightning going. None of the lightning's terribly close, which is kind of nice. I've definitely seen a few of the telephone line breakers go off in the distance. I wish you luck, Miss Patty. Thanks for coming in. You be safe. And I know you're probably not going to be having very much fun tomorrow with a root canal. So thanks for coming. I'll catch up with you when we can. It's going to be a stressful night. I've been trying not to smoke on camera when I'm doing my lives, but tonight I'm going to be smoking a few cigarettes to keep my nerves calm. Ooh, it's getting windy out there. It is getting quite windy out there. I wish I had some type of camera that I could set up outside that was actually waterproof and enough light to show what it's looking like out there. But it's probably not going to happen. 100% chance it's not going to happen because the few cameras I have, I'm not going to risk them being ruined. If I had something I wasn't worried about that I could hook into the computer and do a dual camera thing, I would. I've got a couple cameras I could probably pull that off with, but I don't want to put them outside. Storm is moving very slow. Yeah, there were a lot of things that were coming in via Facebook, some YouTube. Most of them were on Facebook of people showing exactly the type of flooding and damage that was occurring in the Fort Myers area in general. And that area flooded very, very much. Sanibel Island went completely underwater for a little while. That's not good.
You'll get one there.
Why is that? Oh. So I'm just going to kind of hang it out. It looks like the worst part that's running in front of the storm is about to enter Orange County now, which means Polk and Osceola, St. Cloud, Kissimmee, those areas are getting absolutely hammered right now. They're in orange. I wish this thing would speed up a lot. It'd be nice. I think I'll probably cut this at about a half an hour tonight. I might be back on here in a little while as an update. So what's going on? For my family that's in the Orange County area, hunker down because it's about to get real bad. Yeah. The center of circulation has actually moved up quite a bit in the last hour. There's no more eye wall. The eye wall is completely dissipated, but it's still got this comma shape going. If it was over water, it'd reform. If it does not lose enough strength crossing over when it hits the Atlantic, it's going to reform, which means it'll go somewhere else and mess them up too. And hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it breaks apart enough. So they're showing Oak Ridge area in Orlando, which is where I have family, in a purple on the rain. That's a lot of rain. The overall strength appears to be going down. It looks like it is, and they haven't posted this yet, but judging by the way it looks, more like it's class 1 hurricane falling into a really strong tropical storm, which is good. It looks like they're definitely getting some torrential downpours in downtown Orlando. Oh, I just had a power flicker. They're showing some minor flooding in downtown Orlando now. But the reporter's standing up and not having to hold on to anything, so it can't be that bad.
She has not been hit by a stop sign.
Yeah, she has not been hit by a stop sign.
I remember when that happened. That was awful.
Alright, it's almost a half an hour now. I will be back on in a little while. Everyone be safe out there. If you're in the storms, stay inside. It's going to be a rough night.